Welcome back everyone to our next video. This has been a long awaited and taken a little bit of preparation, so that's why I haven't put one out or two out for the past few days. However, it's here and we're going to go for it. So today we're talking about weapons and weapon damage and a little bit going into some real fine detail on the aspects and the perks and the percentages and whatnot, and I'll have something to show you in a little bit. So that being said, let's get to it. Alright, so let's get right into it by first starting with the perks and the upgrades that you can get. Now all three that deal with weapons are going to be under warrior class. So weapon damage, and there's 6 tiers. The first is 10%, 20%, 30, 40, 60, and then 75 is the last upgrade. Now these are upgrades that do not stack against one another, so essentially you'll have the base damage plus 75% at max, so 175% damage. And then your pistol accuracy, there are 4 upgrades to this. It's 25, 50, 75, and 100. And then rifle accuracy, same 4. So the damage obviously increases your damage. Pistol and rifle accuracy decrease the striation of the bullets. So if you shoot in a certain line, like so, they will all end up in the same place. It's called grouping. So the grouping on these weapons will be much better even as you distance yourself from your target. Right here is 20 meters, because you can see the horse distance there. Right there is about 18-20 meters. And so at the max trajectory, the distance is going to be your only worry at that point when you have the 100% accuracy. So you'll just have to determine the drop of your bullet versus the distance that you're shooting. A few things to take note about: you can reload while you're running. You can aim while you're moving. You're not running, you're just moving, but the reticle doesn't close all the way. You can shoot while you're running or moving. You can shoot while you're on a horse. You can reload while you're on your horse. If you have a weapon selected in each of your categories, so 2 and 3, you can simply switch between those by pressing the number that correlates to that weapon. So if you have high capacity weapons, you can shoot essentially all of those shots, switch to a new gun, and then get all of the other shots off. Now hitting animals in different parts of their body, as well as humans, NPCs, it will change the damage output. So if you get a headshot on a character or an animal, it does more damage, or the full amount of damage, versus if you get a body shot. So you can take down a bear in just a few shots, or a human in one shot sometimes, if you get those headshots with a fully closed, fully focused reticle with that good damage upgrades. Oftentimes a weapon will misfire, and that means it's close to being broken. So if you get a lot of misfires, your weapon is about to break. So something else you should know is if you're under attack and you need to reload and you need to get that shot off, if you press space, it will cancel the reload with whatever amount that you have in your weapon already, and you can resume shooting. So we'll reload, get 3 in there, press space, and we're good to go again. So now that we've talked about weapons and perks and different aspects and usage of the weapons, let's look at the qualities of a weapon. So obviously we have broken weapons, that's the lowest quality. Then we have low, regular, and high. I have equipped the low quality of this particular pistol, and we can see that the regular quality is higher, and then the high quality is significantly higher damage. The range and the loudness remains the same, but the damage is the increased factor. So if we equip this with 110 damage as the highest quality, and then we factor in our damage increase with our weapons increase, we're looking at somewhere around 192 damage for every single shot. We're talking 192 damage per shot. Now, for those of you that like horses, I'm sorry about this next part, but we can see the damage on a horse. A horse has about 225 damage, and this horse is at full health. So if we do 192 damage, that horse is almost dead. And so you can only imagine the damage that it affects on an NPC or most other animals if you have a higher quality weapon. Obviously, durability is also a factor, and so the highest quality weapons, as you may have noticed with bows, they will last significantly longer with fewer misfires. The reticle closes fairly quickly. It's generally the same between lower and higher quality weapons, but the accuracy is much better. Reload times all remain around the same. There is a slight increase between the lower quality and the higher quality weapons on reload time. So while we're talking about the Saxon Navy pistol and the different qualities, we have a chart that I put together. The chart includes the base damage, and then you can see the different damages of each tier of weapon damage increase, the reload times, the reticle closing, and the discharge times, which is insignificant for this, but there's about a 34 or a 35% damage increase between each weapon quality. That about sums it up. I have a video to show showcasing a few of the lower quality weapons of different types, and we'll get right into that as we shoot through them, reload times, and then go to the next weapon. And as always, thanks for stopping by.
To the town of our free rode a stranger one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't have too much to say. No one dared to ask his business, no one dared to make a slip. The stranger there among them had a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. It was early in the morning when he rode into the town. He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around. He's an outlaw, loose and running, came the whisper from each lip, and he's here to do some business with a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. In this town there lived an outlaw by the name of Texas Red. Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead. He was vicious and a killer, though a youth of 24, and the notches on his pistol numbered 1 in 19 more, 1 in 19 more. Now the stranger started talking, made it plain to folks around. Was an Arizona Ranger, wouldn't be too long in town. He came here to take an outlaw back alive or maybe dead, and he said it didn't matter, he was after Texas Red, after Texas Red. Wasn't long before the story was relayed to Texas Red. But the outlaw didn't worry, men that tried before were dead. 20 men had tried to take him, 20 men had made a slip. 21 would be the ranger with the big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. The morning passed so quickly, it was time for them to meet. It was 20 past 11 when they walked out in the street. Folks were watching from the windows, everybody held their breath. They knew this handsome ranger was about to meet his death, about to meet his death. There was 40 feet between them when they stopped to make their play. And the swiftness of the Ranger is still talked about today. Texas red, not cleared leather for a bullet fairly ripped. And the Ranger's aim was deadly with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. It was over in a moment and the folks had gathered round. There before them lay the body of the outlaw on the ground. Oh, he might have went on living, but he made one fatal slip when he tried to match the Ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. Big iron, big iron. When he tried to match the Ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip.